Thank you for joining me for this flow practice. We'll go ahead and start sitting up. The shoulders kind of roll back a little bit and feel how the sternum naturally lifts from that point. Let your eyelids drape down, but your inner focus turn up towards the brow. And take a moment just to collect yourself. Time to get more embedded in your body, perhaps feeling the contact of the earth beneath your seat and feet. Enjoy just sitting and being and not having to do anything right now. Just checking in with the state of your mind, the state of your breath, the state of your energy. And start to take the reins of your breath. Breathing in and out through the nose. And let the breath help to connect you more to a deeper level, to your mind, to your body, to your soul. And then bring your hands together to prayer position at your heart. Create a commitment to yourself that you will practice with safety and caution as we move through these postures. Using your intuitive guidance to create some informed decisions. Regarding amping things up or slowing things down or leaving things out. And then set your personal intention for partaking in this practice, as well as considering yourself or another that's in need of some positive energy. There's a lot of people this past year and even happening now since the eclipse season that are experiencing an egoic death. Whether it's losing a job or losing a loved one. Perhaps going through some suffering or loss at some degree or level. Let's explore this practice together, and then we'll come back and remember who we dedicated our practice towards. Now let's open the eyes and let's come up to stand. And you may want to move any props out of the way. Once you stand at the top of the mat, bring your hands back together, remembering your intention, and then inhale, circle the arms up overhead. As you exhale, dive down to Uttanasana. Inhale, lift and lengthen out halfway. Exhale, take it back to plank and lower to your chaturanga. Inhale, rise to upward facing dog. Exhale, rock and roll back to downward facing dog. Creating this inverted V shape with your form. Remembering the foundation is not just hands, but your feet. Drive up towards the pinnacle of the pose. And on your next inhale, step the feet forward. Lift up halfway. Exhale, lower all the way. Inhale, coming up to the top. And exhale, concluding that with the salutation seal, or what we refer to as the mudra. Inhaling up. Exhale, fold down and in. Inhale, pick yourself up halfway. Exhale, lower and hover. Inhale, rise to the stilts of the arms. Exhale, rock and roll back over the feet. Pausing in downward facing dog, letting your neck be neutral. Letting your eyes fixate to one point, whether it's a toe or a pattern or something set in between the feet. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, drape down. Inhale, soar up. Exhale, Samastitihi, hands to heart. All right, let's go for a third. Inhale, open up. Exhale, pour back down. Inhale, create some space. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold and breathe. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plow down. Inhaling up. Exhale, Samastitihi. We're going to do one more. Inhale, open up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Into up dog. Out to down dog. Hold and breathe. So before we get to the bee sun salutations, I want to share a few weeks ago, I went to a class and it was a Vinyasa class and I didn't realize it was going to be in the heat. So it ended up being a hot class on top of that. And I was trying to keep up and I tweaked one of my knees. And I have been feeling it when I do Warrior One. So for today, when we get to the bee salutations, we're actually going to do Warrior Two. Inhale, feet to the top of the mat. Exhale, bow down. Inhale up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Now, if you prefer Warrior One, what we typically do, then do it. It's just the last couple of weeks when I've done it, I feel it, and I just want to avoid it, okay? So inhale to chair, we'll begin the bee. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale to Chaturanga Dandasana. Into upward facing dog. Out to downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps through, back heel settles down. And you can choose Warrior One or you can follow me with Warrior Two. I haven't had any problems with my knee in this pose, which is why I want to use it instead. And I know this is not what we typically do. Exhale, helicopter down, step it back, drop it low, build it up, and roll it back. Now the left foot's gonna lead, stepping through, back heel sinks, arms come up, hold it steady, then helicopter back down, work back into the flow. Pausing in your downward facing dog.
Just as if you were hiking on a hot day and you wanted to replenish and drink some cold water. This is the pose that we hang out in for a little bit longer in the bee sun salutation in order to find the nourishment we need with the breath. So drink it up. Inhale, plant the feet at the top. Exhale, bow out. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samastitihi. All right. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, pike up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale to your inversion. Right foot steps through, warrior two, or one if you prefer the true Ashtanga way. I don't know, sometimes it's good to switch it up. Helicopter down, right foot plank. Build upper body strength with chaturanga. Open your heart in up dog. Create the blend in down dog. Left foot steps through on the in-breath. Rising to Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale takes you back down. Stepping you back. And taking you back into the flow. Into Ardha Uttanasana, out to Uttanasana, into Utkatasana, out to Samastitihi. I feel winded already. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, roll back. Right foot leads, warrior two. Exhale, hands plant, spin away from the back heel. Take the next vinyasa. Then invite that left foot forward. Back to the vinyasa. Holding here. Inhale to the top. Woo. Exhale, release. Inhale, chair. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, we're doing one more bead. Inhale, chair. Exhale, double down. Inhale, halfway up, and exhale, lower. Into up dog. Out to down dog. Right foot to warrior two. Exhale to chaturanga. Into up dog. Oh God. Okay. Out to down dog. Into warrior two. Left foot in the lead. Exhale, helicopter down. All right, from this up dog, let's take child's. I don't know if it's just me. Whew, I do feel winded. Let's just take momentary rest. Give the wrist a break. If your heart is sped up, you can slow it down by maintaining control of your breath. This is a pose where sometimes I recommend breathing into the back of the body. And someone recently told me, I never took dance, but they said when you're a ballerina, they tell you to breathe through your back because they don't want to see the movement in the belly, I guess. But in yoga, you can have movement in your belly and still experience the ripple effect of the breath alongside your spine. Inhale, let's take it back up. Exhale, down dog. Now we'll complete these sun salves. Feet step to the top for Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, let go. Inhale, lift up. Chair. Exhale, Samasthiti. All right, we're gonna hop the feet apart. We're gonna arch it back. Fold it down. And loop the first two fingers around each big toe. Let's do a counter pose for the hands. Inhale, lift up halfway. Look out with your eyes. Exhale, step on your hands. And then spill the head back towards your chest. Don't be shy. Let your weight come down onto your hands instead of through your heels. And then remove the hands. Come on up. We're going to step the feet nice and wide. We'll turn the right foot out. We'll lengthen over that side. Windmill down to triangle pose. Grounding the feet, keeping the neck in line with the spine. And while we're here, we're going to go ahead and take the revolving twist. So to do that, look down. Bend that right knee a little bit. Bring the hands down to frame the foot. Hop the back foot slightly forward to the side and angle the toes more. Then lift back up onto the right fingertips. Drive your heart forward, your left hip around, and then soar the right arm skyward. This is really more of a complex pose. Exhale, lower the hand. Now, when we come up, we're changing up the flow today. We're going to move towards pyramid. You can either cross your arms behind your back, or you can take reverse prayer hands behind your back. Either way. Inhale, extend the spine, and exhale, you're going to fold over the right leg. If you've been losing the curve in your neck, gaze towards your toes. If you have excess curve in your neck, bow your head gaze towards the knee. And if you don't know, just pick one that suits you in this moment. Inhale, we're coming up. Exhale, we're turning back to the side. But remember, we hopped the foot forward. So widen your stance, turn your left foot out, reach out through the arms, and then pour down triangle pose. From the triangle, look down at your left foot, soften the knee, bring the hands down. You can always use blocks. Let's hop the right foot over, slightly out and in, but we're not done. Come to the tips of the right fingertips and drive the right hip more forward towards that hand, and then take your left arm skyward. Exhale, bring the hand down. Keep the feet cemented as you rise. Remember how you crossed your arms before. If you crossed it one way, cross it the other. If you did reverse prayer hands, you can do that again. Open your heart initially, and then we're going to fold over the left leg. Think of the state of your neck with the position of your head, with where you're setting your gaze. Inhale, come up. All right, returning to the side again. Separate your hands, and we're going to separate the feet wider. We changed up the flow, but we're going back to side angle. Right foot turns out, lunge that knee. Prop to the thigh. Left arm reaches up and downward. Now, sometimes when we reach that arm up, you may or may not notice, but sometimes the heart kind of pivots downward. So using that arm to reside on the knee, you can roll the chest more open. Hopefully you can see that. As you exhale, bring the left hand down, spin away from your back heel, take the right arm in midair. Bring that hand down. We're gonna add in some hip work today. We're gonna hop that right foot over and behind the left hand, and we're gonna work it down the pigeon today. So think about, we've already been working into the hips. You know, we've done warrior two a number of times, which externally rotates the hip. We're also receiving some of that on this side with the side angle. On your next inhalation, lift back up, flatten your hands. We're gonna come back to that lunge. So you may need to be more on your fingertips in order to replant that foot for the low lunge. Turn and plant your back foot, bring the hands up, turn the feet to be square. All right, now left foot turns out, lunge that knee, prop to the thigh, right arm reaches across, and then just start to notice if your heart is kind of pointed or shining down, and see if you can roll that chest open. We're gonna lower that hand down to the floor, spin away from the back heel, take the right arm up. And then let's give a little love to this hip. Hop that foot over, lower to your shin, top of the back leg, and release. Changing up the flow today. Inhale, we're slowly lifting up. Planting the palms or fingers, because we're gonna tuck the back toes and come back to the lunge. Step up to the top of your mat, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart, Samasthiti. Moving into some balance, bending your right knee, turning open from the hip. Catching that foot to bring it to the inner calf or inner thigh. Create any style of branches or simply keep your hands to prayer. Changing up the flow today. See if you can hook a hold of your right heel with your right hand. Left hand will catch the top of the foot to bring it to half lotus. Right arm loops behind the back. And then maintain good posture. We'll release the right foot. Stack and stand on that side. Bend the left knee, turn open from the hip. Vrikshasana tree. Form your tree and breathe. Catch the left heel. Bring that foot to half lotus. Left arm can thread behind you. release. All right. We're going to take chair pose 5 breaths. Exhale, pour over, straight legs. In and halfway up. Out in chaturanga. Into up dog. Out to down dog. We're going to bring the right knee down. And we're going to shift the left foot forward and sit on the inside of that right ankle. Use a blanket if you need to prop yourself up on one side. Lift the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale up. Lean your hands back. Bend your left knee. Press through your left foot and see if you can lift up, tucking the tailbone. Elevating your chest. Head back. And exhale, release. All right, we're going to straighten the left leg and the right. Okay? Paschimottanasana, arms reach skyward. Exhale, Paschimottanasana. Loop the first 2 fingers around the right big toe. And when you start to lift your chest, bring the leg with you. Pull that foot back. Pulling the bow pose. And then we'll catch that foot. Bring it down for Janu Shirshasana. Arms relift. Exhale, forward fold. Keep the toes either extended straight up or slightly pulling back in your direction. Inhale, lifting up. Gonna catch that foot, bring it to half lotus. Right arm circles around behind the back. Left arm reaches. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up. We're gonna lift the right knee, plant the foot to the outside. Wrap the left arm around the bent knee and stack the right hand behind us as we churn into a twist. Exhale, unwind. Plant both feet, hands behind you, Come up to altar. So release your seats, crisscross the ankles, hands forward, Vinyasa time. From reestablishing your downward facing dog, take a couple more breaths. Exhale, land your left knee, take your right leg out in front, and sit down. Even ground if you need it by propping yourself up. Otherwise, lift the arms as you breathe in, and fold as you breathe out. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands behind you, bend the right knee. When you're ready, lift. And release. Once you release, slide the right leg out. Bring both legs out straight. Paschimottanasana. Arms lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Gaze out towards your toes. There's a trend right now I've been noticing of yoga teachers getting their picture made in this pose, but with the photographer being out in front of their feet. You wouldn't think it would be an attractive picture because the majority of what you see are the feet, but it actually looks cool. Take the first two fingers around each, or not each, but the left big toe. When you start to lift, bring that foot up and then pulling the bow pose. Bring it down for Janu Shirshasana, head of the knee, arms reach. Exhale, release down. Inhale, rise up. Foot's going to be moving over to half lotus. Left arm behind the back. Trying to sneak some lotuses in today because we're going to focus on a couple of different lotus positions tomorrow in blissful flow. Exhale, release. Inhale, draw it up. Remove the back hand. Lift that knee, plant that foot. Hug the knee in with the right arm. Twirl to your left. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Really good for the Manipura center, the solar plexus region.
Exhale, unwind. Uncross that foot, then bend your right knee. Take altar, or your next option would be reverse plank. I just like this one better. Lower your seat, fan the knees apart, and release down. Working into those inner thighs and hips, bringing circulation up to the reproductive region. And so I hear sometimes in gentle class, people kind of laugh at that, but you know, even though as we get older, we're not really concerned so much about the reproductive organs, it's still important, right? It's still an important part of the body that you want to maintain a state of healthiness with. But it's also not just about reproduction or having babies. It's really the center of our creativity. Inhale, slowly come up. I'm going to separate the feet. We're going to bring the arms to the inside of the knees, and we're going to do a little balancing pose here, balancing on the sits bones. Arms are hooked up underneath the calves, heels together, feet flexed. And I like doing the mudra for patience, which is the second finger to the thumb. Now let the feet drop down, but you're going to hook the fingers around each big toe. Start to slowly lift and separate the legs. Form of Konasana. So it's very much like a boat pose, except the legs are shaped like Konasana. Now bring the feet down, close the knees more together, elevate the feet away from the ground, take half boat. Release your heels down, and we're going to try to move into a boat pose that's similar to Paschimottanasana. So it's not just here. This is more of a full boat. Do you see how my head is back away from the legs? Well, the Paschimottanasana version is you're trying to bring, oh, I'm losing my balance. You're trying to bring the legs more towards your chest and face. Just do the best you can. We don't always do this one. All right, and release the feet. Whew, that's a lot. So fan the knees a little bit. So instead of going into arm balances today, I thought we would try that pose that we sometimes do in the seated mix, where one foot is in half lotus and then we bend the knee. So if you could take your right foot to half lotus again and see if it's possible to bend the left knee. I'm turning to face you because I want you to see I am perfectly balanced on my sits bones. And you see that there's nothing I can do here because I'm feeling kind of blocked. But the trick of the trade is if you lean towards the right side of your seat, that thigh and knee will also come more towards the floor. You do not have to have an even ground for this pose. If that hurts, leave it out and sink the foot to the floor. So it doesn't have to stay trapped there. The left arm's going to reach forward regardless of where your right foot is residing. Hook that arm in front of your shin, the right arm behind the back. And you're looking down.
Inhale, coming up, you can remove that bind. You can shake the legs out. We'll try it to the other side. So the left foot, half lotus. Right foot's gonna slide back, and then you're probably gonna get caught in this kind of position, right? So trick of the trade to go to the next place in the pose is to come down towards that left side of your seat. Again, if that hurts the foot, ankle, knee, hip, let it go. Let it fall gently to the floor. Otherwise, reach the right arm through, left arm behind you, and bow. Inhale, come up. Remove the bind. Shake out the legs. Okay. So you don't have to have a strap for this, but you can grab one if you want it. We're going to roll to the back and catch the right leg. You can hold it here at the thigh. You can hold it at the calf. If you have a strap, you can do it this way. Or you can tag the big toe. But keep your left leg active today. We're going to go from Padangusthasana A, which is what we're doing here, to Padangusthasana C. So the C is where we pump the belly in and lift the head up towards the knee. Release. And we'll swap sides. Once the right foot's down, inhale, lift your left leg up. Hand hold behind your thigh to the calf, using a strap. We're binding the toe. Moving up to C. Exhaling, exit the pose. All right, so for the next one that we're going to do, if you can't do Lotus, whether it's half or full, just do the regular fish, which would be laying on your hands, puffing the chest and hanging the head back. But we've been building up and doing some half lotuses, so let's just try it. Draw your right knee in, tag a hold of that foot, and see if you can lay it over the hip crease of the left leg, okay? And you're starting to sink the right knee down. All right, at the same time, you're gonna bend your left knee. All right, that's kind of trapping that foot inside that hip crease. And then once you pick up your left foot, scrunching through your belly, take your hands to find your left foot and see if it can slip down to your lap. All right, so if you're in the lotus position here, your hands are gonna come like more towards your buttocks so that your elbows are grounded. You're lifting your head and chest at the same time, dropping your thighs and doing fish this way today. Now, bring yourself down to your upper back. Your head can stay up if you want. And do you see how the knees are still drawn in? You're gonna let your feet slide apart. Your legs are gonna shoot forward and up. You're gonna root your elbows again to puff up your chest, to take your head back. And then you're gonna lift your arms and place your palms together. And then eventually lower the legs, slide your head back, hug the knees in. We're changing up bridge pose today. Sink the feet to the floor. Right ankle crosses over the left knee. Arms alongside you. And then push down through the left foot, elevate your hips. I'm not going to stay in this one as long. It requires more stamina. Exhale, roll down to the sacrum, pick up your left foot, and hug the left thigh towards you. Eye of the needle. And release. Stand down on your right foot, crisscross your left ankle, arms beside you, and lift. Setu Bandhasana. Exhale, roll down. Thread your hands behind your right thigh. Hold and breathe. All right, we're going to release the hands. Send your left leg straight out. Pick up your right foot and spin that knee across your body. Take a supine twist. Exhale, unwind. Straighten your right leg. Pick up your left foot. Spin that knee across to the other side. Unwind from that. And this is where I would suggest we're basically going to do a recline butterfly. So if you have two blocks, if that's your preference to take underneath your knees, you can do that. I just have a bolster close by, and I'll show you a couple ways to use it. One way would be the feet on top of the bolster. That's going to provide a deeper opening. You may not want that today, though. You may want it more restorative, so the feet would cross over, and then the knees would fan out to be padded. Yogi's choice, whether or not you want to rest your hands on the stomach or fan them away from your body. Close your eyes. Sink into a state of sweet surrender. Drop into a state of internal solace. Find some repose while you're here. We worked with the hips more than normal today. But in a couple days' time, we'll be experiencing another full moon. Lunar cycle is very embedded even within our human anatomy. Think about the menstrual cycle as sometimes called the moon cycle. That moon cycle, or the moon itself, is related back to the feminine, the element of water. This week is a time of culmination. Start to draw the knees up and together again. Eventually rolling to one side. Building your way up to take a seat. Taking a moment to have an attitude of gratitude for this practice that we love. This practice that is not only useful but helpful.
this practice that is inspiring and motivating. May we all be rejuvenated from this practice. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.